boxing fans here with Eddie Hearn. Eddie, we're here in Leeds, final show of the year. Looking good, looking slim. How's training going?
Yeah, put on a couple of kilos, but I think people were telling me I was getting too skinny. I don't think that. I mean, how can I be 16 and a half stone and be too skinny? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really happen. So I don't know. I think that going to be a tough period with Christmas. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not boozing, but you need to have a couple probably, and you've got the roast, the pigs in blankets, the Christmas pudding, the celebrations, the quality street. So we've got to train hard.
You've got to live life though, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Josh Warrington on Saturday night. In a tough fight, a lot of people might have been overlooking Alberto Lopez, the same way they did Mauricio Lara. Can we see an improved Josh Warrington? And because it's that carrot dangling of him fighting in the US, or this Lee Wood fight, that he pulls out the performance of?
I feel a bit for Josh Warrington because this is a very tough fight. Lopez is the danger man of the featherweight division. You know, he's mandatory challenger, and we keep saying to Josh, you know, just win this one, and then you've got Lee Wood unification, you've got the big US fight, and that is true. But I guess the casual fans or the Leeds faithful don't know how good Lopez is. We do, and it's a very, very dangerous fight, and he's got his work cut out, but he's a tremendous fighter. He's got huge support in the arena. It's going to be wild in there on Saturday night, and it's going to be a great fight.
When I watched Warrington's interviews recently, Josh's interviews recently, he's more inclined to go to the US and take on the Lee Wood fight. As a promoter, you'd probably prefer it to be against Lee Wood for this big domestic clash, right?
Yeah, I think that whenever you've got two Brits that are world champions, you should look to make a unification fight. But Josh has always wanted to go to America, and if there's an American fight as a unification, then I think it's not something that's going to be ignored, you know. But at the same time, for me, my preference would be to make the Lee Wood fight, Ellen Road, City Ground, wherever it's going to be. I think it's a huge fight.
I do need to move away because there's only a little bit of time with yourself. Spoke to Bob Arum on the Tyson Fury fight. We asked him, you know, Eddie said 300,000 pay-per-view buys this fight's going to do. His response was, Eddie Hearn doesn't know crap. Eddie Hearn is a joke in the US. He puts his nose in everybody's business and doesn't know what he's talking about. He should spend more his time promoting his fighters in the US and UK instead of worrying about everyone else. Any decent promoter in the US could do better than Eddie Hearn.
So were you asking him a question about pay-per-view buys in the UK?
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you think knows more about pay-per-view buys in the UK, me or Bob Arum? 93-year-old geezer who's off his Swede on edibles. I mean, like, the guy is completely on another planet. When I say they're done, I mean that with all due respect. Bob Arum is 92 years old. He has no ambition, right? He's looking to make as much money and get out of the business and do shows as cheaply as possible. They're going to small arenas. Show me what Top Rank have done this year versus what Matchroom have done, okay? Show me the ratings on ESPN versus the ratings that boxing slot should be getting. I don't think ESPN are happy with them. I don't think they're doing a good job. I don't think they have any ambition. I didn't start this, by the way. I've never said anything about Bob Arum. He just came out and started slating me. So fuck Bob Arum. He's done. We're taking over. Off you go. Go and take some of those things you do, whatever.
Just quickly, Gervonta Tank Davis leaking the email that you sent to him. What do you make of all of that situation?
It's not. Look, someone said to me, is it ethical? And I said, Gervonta Davis and ethics don't always sit hand in hand, but I like Gervonta, I've always got on well. We were talking, he asked me to make him an offer. I made him an offer, private and confidential. He decided to put it on social media. It was 10 million minimum with a big pay-per-view upside. Thought it was a great offer. He says he's making a lot more than that to fight Ryan Garcia. If he is, congratulations.
It looks like DAZN and Showtime are going to be linking up for the fight with Ryan Garcia. Does that mean that we could possibly see a Golovkin-Charlo fight, for example? Can we see stuff like that in the future?
Listen, I think it's great news, and well done to Joe Markowski and Stephen Espinoza, because that fight needs to get made, and it looks like it's going to get made, and it'll be great to see it in full flow, and if it's on those both networks, then brilliant for boxing.
Eddie, you've always talked about putting on top cards, especially now with, you know, rivals as Boxer and Frank Warren putting on cards. Next year we see Yard versus Beterbiev in January, we see Eubank versus Liam Smith in January. What match are we going to pull out to rival that and sort of, you know, pop a fight?
Got huge fights planned. I mean, firstly looks like Lee Wood will fight Mauricio Lara, which is a tremendous fight in January. You're obviously going to see the return of Dillian White. Hopefully he can fight Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder. You've got all our shows stateside. You've got Callum Smith will be in a big fight on March the 11th. You know, boxing all around the world. Estrada will be back. You know, and I think that we are aware of the competition. Globally, no one can touch us, but we need to also make big fights in the UK. Anthony Joshua will be returning in the spring, which is bigger than all of those two put together and some. But we need to be consistent with the schedule, and I think fans are going to like what they see when we announce that, hopefully at the end of next week.
Just a final one. Simon Jordan's looking to enter the boxing world as a manager. He said he was asked. He was saying either as a promotional RFA manager. What do you make of Simon Jordan's inclusion into the sport if he does make it?
It's a very good way to go skint again. You know, to go in and becoming a boxing promoter is a dreadful idea. Simon Jordan's very good at his job, very funny, very intellectual, but he would burn that money quite quickly in the boxing world, as he did before. But don't be a manager, then I'd have to negotiate with him. Not sure I could have that. We could be a fighter.
You've talked about fighting him anyway, haven't you?
Might be the only person I can beat.
Eddie, and thank you very much for talking to Pro Boxing Fans.